What's up, guys? It is the Bad Wolf. Do we have a show for you today? Should you, would you, could you, need to rebut the presumption of you being not only a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, which at this point in time we all should be on the same page to know what that is, and of course exert the fact and lawful nature of who and what you are as a national. But maybe, just maybe, we should be adding something into it as well, like removing the presumption of not only being a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen while declaring ourselves to be a national, but being a member of the public. Now, I've made a video before about not being a residing, which essentially is the same thing. A residing is somebody who's residing and entering or re-identifying themselves, depending on how you want to use the wordplay there, into the public. So let's take a look at what chat came up with, and I think you might find it interesting to include with your, I'm sure, already great affidavit of truth, nationality, or declaration of standing. Let's take a look, shall we? Hopefully, everybody's having a good day. It is hot, hot, hot. And oh, no, that's not it. That's not it either. Okay, hold on. Thought it was right there. My bad. Must be hiding behind some tabs. There we go. All right, now showtime. Yes? No? There we go. All right. So I told it I want you to create an affidavit under jure titled Affidavit of Public Office Presumption Resignation. So this is me telling it that I want a document recognized in their world. So that's where we get affidavit from. We're using the title jure because it is a legal binding obligation that you're stating facts here, not just an acknowledgement for the notary section, which doesn't really mean dick, other than she's seen you sign it. Yay. But in fact, that you're taking an obligation under essentially penalty of perjury, that the foregoing is, in fact, all truth and fact, which they don't like to have in their courts, anything factual. They deal on presumptions, trickery, sleight of hand, bullshit. So let's see here and listen to what it has to say.
Certainly. Below is a sample affidavit of public office presumption resignation drafted under jurat format, meaning it must be signed in the presence of a notary public or other authorized officer who will administer the oath and verify the signer's identity.
So they're verifying your identity. You're doing this under oath, which is a sublime agreement, accord, if you will. You're saying, yep, I swear everything is here. Is the fact, is the truth, is my reality. Okay. So let's keep going.
Identity. Affidavit of Public Office Presumption Resignation, jurat. I, full legal name, hereinafter affiant, being of sound mind, of the age of majority, competent to testify, and having personal knowledge of the facts herein stated, do solemnly affirm and declare the following under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America and the organic state, insert your state, e.g., Florida, that the following is true, correct, and complete. I am a living, breathing, sentient man/woman, not a corporate entity, not an artificial person, nor a statutory U.S. citizen under 14th Amendment federal jurisdiction. I have never knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally accepted or consented to holding any public office under the jurisdiction of any federal, state, municipal, corporate, or administrative body, including but not limited to that of a 14th Amendment citizen of the United States as defined at 8 U.S.C. Section 1401. Any presumption, inference, registration, or silent assumption that I have ever held or currently hold a public office by operation of law, contract, adhesion contract, application, or participation in any benefit program, is hereby formally rebutted, denied, and resigned nunc pro tunc ab initio, as such presumptions violate my right to freely determine and declare my own political status and capacity.
Ab initio, essentially Latin, it means void from beginning. All right.
Capacity, as guaranteed by the Declaration of Independence, 1776. Article 4, Section 2, and Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution for the United States of America.
For the United
8
States.
U.S.C. Section 1101, A, 22, B, National of the United States, not a citizen thereof. United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, UNDRIP, Article 33. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, Articles 6, 15, and 20. To the extent that any court, agency, or legal authority has relied upon any unrebutted presumption of my capacity as an officer, agent, resident, taxpayer, subject, or fiduciary of a corporate entity or political subdivision, including but not limited to U.S. citizen, resident, person, trustee, debtor, defendant, or public official, I hereby rescind, revoke, and reject any such role or capacity effective immediately. This affidavit serves as a formal and permanent resignation of any implied, constructive, or presumed public office under corporate or statutory jurisdiction, whether arising through registration, e.g., birth certificates, driver's licenses, voter registration, benefits, e.g., Social Security, public services, or silence, tacit acquiescence.
Now, mind you, this does not mean that you can get away with stuff or that you're above the law or any of that. What you're legitimately saying is that I know that under the law, 8 U.S.C. 1101 A 22 B or A and B or 8 U.S.C. 1401 A, okay, that I have two different capacities, one public, one private, one U.S., one national, or state citizen, or Floridian, New Yorker, Wisconsinite, Californian. And that when I present this document, I am not the 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. This doesn't mean that it's gone. It means that in this event, in this moment, I'm not to be construed as the public version of me, the legal person, the straw man. I'm in my private capacity, natural, default. And I want to make sure that you don't believe because of any of these things that may be in place that I'm always and that you can just reach out to me and I have to be that person.
Acquiescence. I do not waive any rights at any time and explicitly reserve all unalienable rights nunc pro tunc, including my right to self-governance, private contract, property, travel, privacy, due process, and to be free from involuntary servitude. All presentments, actions, or communications directed to me in any presumed public capacity shall be deemed fraud ab initio and rejected for cause and lack of lawful authority, jurisdiction, and verified contract. Let it be known to all parties, public and private, that I hereby return to and operate solely in my private capacity as a man/woman under common law, without adhesion, oath, or allegiance to any foreign or corporate jurisdiction. Notice to agents is notice to principals. Notice to principals is notice to agents. Executed this ______, autographed by hand in blue ink on original. Full legal name.
Generally, yeah, blue is the way to go. Sometimes the notaries do not like it if you use red. Red, blue means you're on the water. You're in the water with them, but you're not underneath their flag. Black, of course, is what they consider to be their jurisdiction. Red is the represents the red blood of the red blood of the living being, not a dead thing, not black ink, which represents the blood of the dead entity. Okay, or the blood of the dead man on the water. You're signing in dead man's blood, black ink. It also represents creation and magic. Okay, because they're creating things out of the ether, and ether is the black. Okay, so it's a power thing as well, but they're saying they control the power. So once again, red may or may not fly with a notary, so blue is the acceptable one. All right. Red is the red blood of the living person and the red soil, red rooty soil in which we stand. A living man or woman stands on the land with red blood. All right. And then, of course, you got your purple for royalty and whatever else from there, gold and green. But generally, you're going to pretty much either use black, blue, or generally red, sometimes purple if you feel so moved. But black, blue, red, that's generally the ones. Shows a difference in jurisdiction. That's why. All right. You sign in black, you're basically saying, well, you're our people. You're one of the dead things that we created. You're putting on its face, on its mask. You're wearing the demon jumpsuit or the entity's jumpsuit. All right.
Name, affiant in propria persona, sui jure.
Propria persona means your proper person. Sui juris is in the proper jurisdiction. Okay. And then you guys should know, obviously, without representation, meaning without being a re. Anytime you see the word re in there, be careful. All right. Generally, it's used against you. So it's without re present, because you living person is always in the present. So to be re-presented is to be boxed up and given to somebody else. That's what they're doing to you. All right. And then, of course, we have here, which is their word too. Here, all rights reserved. Really should be all rights served, not reserved. All right. But then they're attributing it to or connecting it with these codes, which is a redirect. So you're reserving them through here. You don't need to. You're telling them, I know in your world how to protect myself. So you're re-serving your rights through here. You don't have to. All right.
Chat
And then, of
GPT.
course, you got jure. You guys know what that means. And all the rest of this is basically the same at this point in time. So that's it, guys. Not a very long video, but definitely an interesting one. And as always, hit that bell, like, and subscribe. If this is your first time here, welcome to the motherfucking tribe. And we are doing very well with the inside videos, the private videos, private seminars on James C. Lovett. JamesLovett.com, JamesLovett.com. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna make some more videos, and yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Talk to you guys later. Peace and all that good jazz.